In 2010, a 13-year-old Indonesian boy was detained by Australian authorities for cooking on a fishing boat carrying asylum seekers. That boy was convicted as an adult people smuggler and sentenced to 5 years in a maximum security prison.
Did you know what people smuggling was?
No, I don't know.
The court specifically determined the question of this person's age and determined that this person was not a minor.
Yasmin was one of more than 120 Indonesian kids who arrived by boat between 2009 and 2012. They were convicted as adults and sent to jail. Authorities used a now discredited wrist X-ray technique to determine the children's age.
Australia, probably unintentionally, were putting 12, 13 prepubescent children into maximum security jails with male offenders, and this is with pedophiles, armed robbers, with no segregation.
Colin Singer, who was visiting Hakea prison in 2010, recalls the moment he met a scared Indonesian boy inside an adult jail cell.
You know, he was just petrified in tears. And then I said to Yasmin, how old are you? And he said 13.
What's the context in which you found him?
Hakea prison is a maximum security remand prison. It contains all the murderers, rapists, people involved in serious assaults. It is classed as the most dangerous prison in West Australia.
Yasmin alleges that while inside prison, he was sexually assaulted by another prisoner, punched and needed medical treatment, strip-searched and prevented from speaking with his family. However, the Commonwealth, prior to the settlement, denied those incidents took place.
I think a lot of the kids like Yasmin remain traumatised and severely traumatised by their experiences in prison. And I think it would be difficult for Yasmin and other kids to discuss some of these very distressing matters.
What do you think of the way the government has responded to all of this?
I think the Australian government's behaviour in regards to these matters is appalling, it's heinous, and it was utterly illegal.
Do you think it was on some level deliberate, or do you think this was just a terrible mistake?
You could possibly imagine a situation of one child being in this situation. We are talking of a situation of 200 children who were detained in adult prisons, maximum security prisons. You know, it's not even imaginable.
After a damning report by the Human Rights Commission in 2012, the children, including Yasmin, were released and repatriated home.
You feel like you've missed out on a lot? Yeah.
In December, Yasmin, along with 220 other Indonesian children wrongfully imprisoned in Australia, were awarded $27 million in compensation from the Australian government.
It is important that we have bodies like the Australian Human Rights Commission keeping oversight on Commonwealth government actions, and of course that individuals who fall victim to these types of matters pursue those matters and hold the government to account, as Mr Yasmin has in this case.
Yasmin himself, now a 26-year-old man, will receive $40,000 from the settlement with the Commonwealth.
It's great to see you doing so well. How do you feel about what Australia and the Australian government did to you all of those years ago?
Untuk saat ini saya pribadi sih banyak hal yang sudah, artinya saya sudah upayakan untuk melupakan begitu. Jadi dalam keadaan saya untuk saat ini keadaan saya itu kayak ya mereka sudah melakukan apa yang harus mereka lakukan begitu.
What do you make of the compensation payout that these now adults will receive?
I think it brings some form of justice to the kids. But, you know, what sort of sum can you attach to the experience of these children? It is perhaps of concern that the Australian government didn't find it necessary to apologise for what it put these children through and their families through.
After such a long wait for compensation, Yasmin isn't hopeful he will ever receive that apology.
Yasmin, is that important for you? Would it make a difference for you?
Ya itu kembali ke apa ya? Gimana ya? Ya memang itu penting sebenarnya. Cuman ya apa ya?
Money is sometimes not an equivalent substitute for the loss of someone's liberty, and in this case, a child spending years in an adult jail, and I'm not sure that money could ever accurately repay that person for what's happened.
While it can never heal the past, the compensation will provide some relief for Yasmin and his family.
How important is that to you? What difference will it make to your life?
Terutama buat anak saya. Ya, untuk masa depan anak saya dan juga keluarga sih.
I know you've become a father. What's that like?
Saya punya Aisyah, kebetulan perempuan, usianya sekarang 8 tahun.
And how grateful are you to Pak Colin and to lawyers like Sam who have been fighting your case now for so long?
Sangat baik, bahkan tidak bisa diukur di dunia ini.
Yasmin, it's been great to catch up. Good luck. Selamat jalan.
Terima kasih.
Oh, Hang, what a heartbreaking story. I mean, I have a little boy who was only a few years younger than Yasmin was when he was locked up with adults. And my little boy's scared of the dark. For him to be locked up with these hardened criminals, $40,000 for a lost childhood, you've got to wonder if that's enough.
The thing that just stands out to me so strongly is that, you know, we have a government today, many of the ministers in power now were in power then. They know they did the wrong thing because they've agreed to this payout, obviously determined by the courts. Don't really understand why we can't say sorry to this cohort of 200 or so kids that we wrongly put in prison in this country.